Hey everybody, it's Elliot, and today I am 2 months on testosterone, and that's awesome. It's February 9th, and it is a beautiful day outside, so I'm taking advantage of the nice weather by sitting out in my car like a creepy person with my windows down, talking to myself, like you do. So I feel like a lot of stuff has happened in the past month. I sort of feel like I was just waiting for this month to be up so I could make a video, since I'm only going to be doing them monthly now. Alright, T changes. Obviously, my voice dropped, really noticeably, and that's awesome. My voice is sexy as fuck, and I am totally in love with it. I'm still adjusting. It's still early, and things are changing around and stuff, and it might drop again, it might not, I don't know. We'll find out. The biggest struggle with the whole voice thing is I feel like I have two voices right now, because there's this, like, my male speaking voice, but I still have, like, my chest voice, but I still got my head voice, which I also call, like, my girl voice or my phone voice. Like, when I'm on the phone with people, or usually when I'm out in public talking to, like, retail people, service working people, I feel like my voice is a lot higher, and I'm always just like, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying really hard not to use that voice anymore, and it's getting easier. It's getting easier to just default to this voice, and getting actually, like, we're switching, so that's nice. But it's fucking weird sometimes when I'll just open my mouth and, like, this high-pitched fucking girl voice comes out, and then I have to consciously be like, shit, let's drop that a little bit. And I'm sure it's confusing to people I talk to on the phone as well, but whatever, they will deal with it. Okay, so a lot of stuff. 2 months on T, and that's awesome. I am currently speaking with, doing intake stuff with a plastic surgeon for top surgery. I'm going to try and schedule top surgery for April. It depends on a lot of factors, money, time mostly, and seeing if I can get time off of work for recovery and how much time I'm going to need. I've been selling a bunch of my stuff to pay for this, because insurance doesn't cover it, and it's $6,000, which I obviously don't really have. Most people don't. So I've sold all of my old clothes, jewelry, makeup. I've sold almost my entire art collection, which was a pretty nice, anyone who's been in my room in my house knows that I had a really nice collection of art. So most of that is gone at this point. I'm still selling a few things. So my walls are looking really bare, which bothers me a little bit. I don't like having naked walls, but I also don't like having tits way more than that. So, priorities. Right now, I have $4,000 saved specifically for top surgery, which I've only been saving up this money for a couple months, so that's pretty fucking impressive. I've been living like super poor poverty person, which I gotta thank, like, people in my life for helping me out with that and realizing that I don't have any fucking money. So they've been helping me out with, like, buying, like, foodstuffs, or if we're going out somewhere, they'll pay, and things like that, which is amazing, because I have the best friends in the whole fucking world. Along with the $4,000, dollars, I've got some other money saved for other things, and I'm just trying to make good choices about the use of my money right now. And my face is very itchy. My face is really itchy in this area, so I'm sorry if I keep touching my face all the time. So, because that's apparently what happens when you start growing facial hair, which I am doing right now as we speak. Like, it's happening. It's okay. I'm gonna get really close, but you might not be able to see. But look, I totally have like a little pedo stash, like right there. Maybe I shouldn't call it a pedo stash. Whatever. It's a little baby peach fuzz mustache, and there it is. And the sideburns are still doing their thing. Like they exist. Those are fuzzies, and they're getting dark. Like you can see them, along with all of my acne. You can totally see the dark fuzzy hairs. I don't really have anything on my chin except for a bunch of zits right now, but no, like, hair. But there's a mustache. Look at it. Look at it. So, that's a real thing that's happening, which, you know, that's really fast. I feel like 2 months or 8 weeks or whatever is pretty fast to be growing facial hair. But there it is, and it's real, and it's not in my head, it's real. Other people have verified its existence for me, so I know I'm not just like, you know, hoping that it's there. Along with that, body hair situation is changing for sure. I definitely have more body hair, and it's getting darker on my legs and on my stomach, mostly. It's really, I mean, it's not like dramatic or anything, but it's noticeable. I can take pictures of it. It exists. And I never thought I'd be excited about having hair like all over my stomach, but I totally am, and it's awesome. And I hope that there will be more of it. Yay. It's also another reason that I need to lose weight, because no one wants a fat, squishy, hairy belly. At least I don't. I'm not into it. For me. Not my thing. So, we're working on that. The whole weight loss thing, I haven't really been focusing on it a lot. I've been doing a shitload of other stuff. Just trying not to overeat, which is really hard now because I'm hungry all the time. My appetite finally, like, kicked in or whatever, and I feel like that I just eat constantly. And when I do eat, it's with this fucking, like, ravenous hunger where, like, I can't just eat a bowl of cereal like a normal person anymore. I, like, sit there and hold it, and I'm just literally shoveling it into my fucking face until it's gone, because I'm hungry. I need to eat it. I need to eat it right now. I'm gonna starve to death. Might never fucking find food again. So here we go. So there's been a lot of that. I'm just hoping that my metabolism keeps up. I have not gained any weight, so that's good. And also using, like, the weight scale is not accurate anymore, because there's definitely a fucking shift in my body composition already. It's only been 2 months, but I'm serious. My fucking, like, my arms are bigger, for sure. My back is already getting broader. My shoulders are doing stuff. I have more muscle mass in my body, and that's a real thing. There's not really any definition on them or anything. I feel like I'm just gaining all this muscle, and there's this layer of, like, baby fat all over everything. So I just kind of look like I have fat arms. But they're not fat arms. Like, I can fucking, like, flex them, and they're fucking sexy hard arms. So, you know, eventually I imagine that the fat will just sort of melt off, you know, with some effort, obviously. But, yeah. So can't really judge so much with pounds and weight anymore, because muscle's heavier than fat and all that stuff. So I've been mostly just sort of going off of how I feel and how I like looking at myself in the mirror or whatever. And there's improvements to be made, so we're gonna work on that, especially after top surgery. And after I heal a bit from that, I'm probably gonna start, like, you know, getting on with all that shit. other transy stuff, I am talking to a transgender legal aid office about getting my name legally changed. And I put in my information with them, and they have all my stuff, and they're keep putting me in touch with an attorney who's supposed to be contacting me. It's been like a week, and they said that it could take like up to 2 weeks. So eagerly waiting to hear back about that, see if that they can help me get my name legally changed, and it's like a pro bono thing. And also looking into getting my gender marker changed, which is a lot more difficult, especially in Texas. I'm probably going to need a whole bunch of fucking letters from people, but I imagine it will be easier to get my gender marker changed after I have top surgery, because then I'll actually have like sex change surgery, which is a little horseshit, but whatever fucking needs to be done, that's just what I gotta do. So a lot of stuff happening, okay, a lot of shit happening. Fucking surgery, legal name change, fucking testosterone, I'm out to everybody. I got a job. I got a new job that I'm going to be starting on the 22nd. I'm going back into my previous field of like lab animal science, which I kind of thought that when I got out my last job that I wouldn't do it anymore. But I really need the money, and I got offered a very generous salary, and it's a really like prestigious place to work for. So we're gonna go do that thing. Not only that, but I feel like this job in particular is a big step, because I applied for this job with Elliot on my CV, and I interviewed under Elliot, and the HR department there knows that I'm trans, and so people will know that I'm trans there. But like I went into this whole process as a man, and I went through all of this, so no one there is gonna know my legal name. They're hopefully God, not gonna like see me as a woman. I'm on T now. My voice has done the whole dropping thing, and I'm growing facial hair, and I feel like that this is like sort of a good opportunity to like start correctly at a place of employment. So hopefully we'll see. Things might get a little rocky. They told me that I get my own locker room to change and shower in. Like, I guess they don't really want me using the men's locker room, which is a fucking problem to me, honestly, and it bothers me, and I don't really like it. But I feel like having my own locker room really isn't that big of a deal, especially from like a safety perspective. And I would actually prefer to have my own locker room and facilities to change in and stuff. I was just bothered by the fact that they presented it to me and were like, well, hey, we've got this other room, and would you be okay with using it, because we're afraid other people might be uncomfortable, when really they should have fucking presented it as, would it make you more comfortable, or blah blah blah, or wait until I said some shit. But whatever. I feel like I can't be too picky about that shit at this point. I'm just happy that I got hired after revealing that I was trans, because I had to tell them I was trans before my interview because of some fucking HR snafu that happened over the phone, where I was using my phone voice, and the HR lady was like, oh, you're a fucking lady, so I'm gonna have to tell them to expect a lady and not a dude. So I just had to be like, shit, no, I'm fucking trans. So it sucks that I'm that excited that I got a job, even though they know I'm trans. It shouldn't be an issue, obviously, but it is. But you know what? I'm happy about it. I got a job. I'm going to be making decent money again. It's going to help me save up more money more quickly, especially as we're rolling into April, for this top surgery thing. I'm mostly like, I'm 2/3 of the way there, but obviously I need $2,000, so hooray. What else? Other tea stuff? I don't know. Nothing that I, like, can think of right off the bat. Mostly just the voice thing and the hair thing. And my skin is terrible. And it's awful. But I actually don't think about it that much, which is weird. Like, obviously when I'm doing this shit, I'm like, fuck, gross. But I feel like that's a small price to pay. Not a big deal. I haven't had a lot of mood swings lately, so I kind of feel like maybe that's settling out, or I'm just learning how to deal with it better. I feel like recently I've been pretty even keel, like pretty level-headed about a lot of stuff, including like some really stressful situations that normally, like before hormones and before coming out and stuff, would have caused me to have a fucking breakdown and like cry and horrible grossness and like my life is over sort of shit. But I'm just fucking, I'm like blown away by how well I handle a lot of situations these days. It's weird. In a good way. I'm not complaining that I don't fucking flip out at everything anymore, but just the change is so remarkable. It's like I'm a completely different person almost. But only in really positive, awesome ways. Because, man, did I fucking hate crying all the time. I hated crying all the fucking time. And it happened a lot. And I haven't cried in months. I haven't cried since, like, fucking October or some shit. I barely remember, like, the last time I cried. There's been a lot of situations where I've sat there and thought, normally I would be crying right now about this. But it just doesn't happen. I still feel things, and I still feel, like, sadness and stuff, but it's just not this overwhelming, fucking catastrophic, I can't think of anything else. I just gotta be fucking sad right now. It doesn't happen like that anymore. I feel like I can function. I can go about my day. I can do all the shit I need to do. And that's awesome. Fucking coping skills for the win. I've put so much effort into controlling and managing my depression and my anxiety, and it's just so much easier now. And I've made so much progress, I feel like, over the past couple months. And I'm fucking stoked about that. And I'm just kind of hoping that trend, like, continues. I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't. But, yeah, I'm fucking excited about that. Speaking of situations that are really stressful. My last video I made was at a month on T, and I was super optimistic and excited, and everything was going really great. Until that night, my parents called me, and they were drunk, especially my mom, and they put me on speakerphone, and they do that whole thing. And my mom said a lot of really, like, hurtful and damaging things to me about the whole trans thing, and I describe it to people as like, well, she finally, like, she lost her shit. Like, she was trying to hold it together there for a while, and she lasted like a whole 2-3 months, and then fucking just lost it. She was crying at me on the phone about how she didn't understand why I was doing this. She just didn't understand it, and that I was going to be a completely different person, and that I still sounded like, her daughter, and I gave birth to a baby girl, and I just don't understand, and you're never going to have a fucking penis, and you're just going to be a man with woman parts, and I don't understand the nature of your relationship with Dexter Mars, who's my fucking boyfriend, by the way. So it's just like, and she was just going off, and talking about how she was so confused, and on the other hand, she was also saying, I'm totally open-minded, and I am so progressive, and I am so cool with what you're doing, and I just want you to be happy, and I just want you to do whatever you need to do to be happy. And I was like, well, I am. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm super happy. My life is amazing, and I feel fucking great. And her response to that was, well, I'm glad you figured it out, because I'm 57 and I'm still not happy, and I should just go get my gun and blow my head off. So that was a new thing, is my mom threatening to fucking kill herself because I was happy about being trans, apparently, and that's like the worst possible thing I could do. She also misgendered me and called me my birth name a couple times, and then claimed that she was allowed to do that because she was my mom. And I'm like, no, let's not. If anything, I sort of feel like that if you are a family member, especially like a parent, a really close family member, someone who's trans, you actually have less of a right to misgender them and call them by their birth name, because you should fucking know better. If you're that close to somebody and you supposedly love them and have respect for them, then you need to respect their fucking pronouns and their name. I don't give a fuck if you think my voice still sounds like my birth name's voice or whatever. That doesn't matter. That's not who I am. That's not how I identify. You don't get to decide who I sound like. You don't get to decide what my name is based on my voice on the phone, which, again, phone voice. So, not an accurate representation of what my actual voice sounds like. But it shouldn't fucking matter. I could sound like Minnie Mouse, and if I say my name is Elliot, my name is fucking Elliot, and you need to deal with it. Or get the fuck out, honestly. After that whole phone conversation, it really should not have gone on as long as it did, and I should not have continued it. I really should have hung up like 10 minutes into that hour-long phone call, but I didn't, because I'm trying very hard to be the good trans person who educates and, tries to hold people's hands and walk them through this so difficult fucking journey of me becoming a dude, because that's the worst. I don't know. I've decided that if anything like that happens again, I am hanging up the fucking phone. So she asked me a bunch of questions about my genitals, which was cute. I didn't really want to answer them, but something about talking to your parents that they just know how to work you, if it were anyone else, I would have just been like, no, fuck off, like, what? But, and I tried to answer all her questions. Honestly, I was super uncomfortable. I wasn't very fucking happy with any of it. I feel like she was implying that Dexter made me trans because I came out around the same time that we started dating. So I guess in her mind, she was just like, I don't understand your relationship with him, and I don't understand. And I'm like, what don't you understand? We're dating. We're boyfriends. We are dudes and we date. That's really the whole extent of it. I was already out to a lot of my close friends when I met him. He knew I was trans. I knew he was trans. We got along because of that, But he certainly didn't make me trans. Like, no one makes anyone fucking trans, okay? I don't know, I'm not trans because I have trans friends. I have trans friends because I'm trans. That's how that fucking works. I don't know. God, it was just awful. And I think my mom feels like that phone conversation went really well, but I didn't speak to her. I haven't spoken on the phone with them since then, so it's been a whole month. And she emailed me, and it was a bunch of, like, innocent stuff. No mention of the phone call stuff whatsoever. So I guess we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Since then, she's been a lot more supportive in written form, like in emails. I've told her about my top surgery and about how I'm planning to move into a house together, possibly with a bunch of other trans guys, in order to create like a safe, accepting environment for me and for them. Like you do when you don't have a lot of safe spaces as a fucking, oppressed group. You tend to sort of clump together because it's safer that way. She was all very supportive about that and saying like, oh, I'm glad you're going to have a nice supportive place to stay, and I think you'll feel more comfortable in your body once you have top surgery. And so like it's been a complete 180, and I just don't really know what's happening with that whole thing. I'm trying not to look too hard at it. I'll take support where I can get it, honestly. Hooray. Hopefully it continues. We'll find out, I guess. That was just very dramatic, and I was super upset about it for like a week or two afterwards. I was fucking pissed. I wasn't crying or upset. I was just fucking pissed. I was mad. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. What is with all this crap? I don't have the mental, emotional energy to deal with this shit right now. So, that happened. Other transy stuff? I don't know. Not other transy stuff. Other, like, personal life stuff. So Liam and I are dating now. That's new. I feel like everybody, including me, sort of saw it coming for a long time. And then it happened. And God knows why it did when it did, but who gives a shit? It doesn't fucking matter. I've mentioned Liam in videos before. All the way, like, back to the beginning. He's helped me through pretty much this whole process. We met long before I was ready to admit that I was trans, and I feel like he really helped me sort of like come to terms with that whole thing and deal with it. And he helped me, pick out my clothes for me, and helped me with like my binder when I first started doing all that shit. So, we were really close. Obviously, we were pretty much best friends for like at least a year, and we'd hang out all the time, and we have a lot in common, and we get along really well, so it kind of just makes sense that we were gonna start dating eventually. So everyone else was like, fucking finally. So not much of a surprise. That whole relationship with us, I think is going well. It's different. It's weird when you go from being platonic friends with somebody to being in an intimate romantic relationship, because obviously the dynamic is a lot different there, and you interact in different ways. So I'm learning all of that, and it's been interesting and pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's great. People keep driving by and staring at me because I'm so hot. I really like hanging out with them, and I really like spending time with him and just talking to him and, being with him. So that's cool. That's great. I'm not good with I'm not good with that shit. I'm really glad we started dating. I am very glad. It took a very long time, but I am glad that it happened when it did and how it did. And, the only thing that we have to worry about at this point is us being too fucking smart for our own goods and fucking overanalyzing the shit out of every interaction that we have together. So I'm gonna try not to fucking do that so much, because that's really fucked up a lot of my relationships before. But yeah. So I've got, I got my standard 2 boyfriends again. I guess. I get my, thing 1 and thing 2. And life is so fucking cool and great and amazing right now. And I am super happy and optimistic. And I feel like I keep saying that, and it's really repetitive and kind of wanky, maybe. But, I realize that I've spent so much of my life being fucking unhappy and, thinking that life sucked balls and everything. So, I'll just fucking take this. It's fine. Y'all are just gonna have to deal with me being really fucking happy and optimistic, and I know that sucks, but sorry. I'm making up for lost time. I've spent 3 decades of my life being a fucking miserable, unformed blob of fucking who knows what. And now I'm becoming something. What am I becoming? I don't know. A fucking sexy dude who's got his shit together and is actually happy to be alive. And someone who can form decent, healthy, beneficial relationships with other people. So, everyone wins on that front. Okay. So apparently I'm gonna be a mentor at the fucking university for a young transy person. The university has a mentor-mentee program at the LGBT Center where Liam works. And normally, you have to be a student to mentor there, you do, and you mentor, a younger person. But, they didn't have a mentor that was, suited for this particular mentee. So, Liam suggested me, and his boss met with me yesterday, and she really likes me. So, I guess I'm gonna do that. I've never really officially, yeah, sorry, my video fucked up. Anyway, no, I've never professionally mentored anybody before, just talking to friends and stuff, but once I get past the whole, social anxiety part of my being, I actually feel like I'm kind of good at it, maybe. We'll find out. I'm doing the transy shit, I'm doing it right now, and I'm doing it very quickly, and I'm just fucking, ticking all these boxes off. And I think timeline-wise, I would still be considered like a trans baby, but I don't feel like one at all. I feel like I've advanced very quickly and very, smoothly, and I feel like my shit is really well together right now. So, if they respond back and decide they want me to be their mentor, then that's cool. I feel like maybe I can give them some advice and help them through some shit, because I remember what it's like to be confused and to not know what the fuck is going on, and that shit wasn't really that long ago. I feel like I've progressed so much since then, even though it was a year ago. Not even. So yeah, I'm not sure what else there is. I mentioned Dexter a little bit earlier. Things with him are amazing and awesome, and continue to be amazing and awesome, and he's great. I'm really glad that I've got him in my life, and I'm really glad that I've got Liam in my life, and as well as my other friends. Everything has been so great, and yeah. And like I said, I'm saying that a lot. It's kind of getting broken record-y at this point, but whatever. Yeah. Therapist appointment tomorrow, where I'm going to ask him to write me a letter for my top surgeon, because they need a letter from a therapist that you've been seeing at least 6 months. And it's 6 months this month. What's some good fucking timing right there. And I'm also going to need him to write me a letter for the attorneys for the name change thing. So there's that. Shit is just fucking happening, and it's all falling into place really well, and there's been very few hiccups with any of that shit. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that all of that, keeps doing that sort of thing. Gonna try and get top surgery planned in April. I know I'm just starting this new job, and it kind of sucks to take a whole bunch of time off for surgery, but I want to get it done before the summer, because I will die from the heat. And if I'm moving, in the summer, I want to be able to actually like pick stuff up and not be healing in the middle of moving stuff. So trying to get it done as early as possible. Hooray. That's really about it. I need to figure out a way to splice these two videos together now that there's two of them, and go back to work. Back to that ad place that I'm only gonna be at for like another week and a half, and I need to put in my notice because I forgot to do it. Yeah. So. Yeah, cool beans. Everything's cool. Elliot is amazing. Elliot is great. Everything is cool. That's it. That's all I got. See you guys later, I guess, in a month.